Good morning and welcome to video 5 in our lockdown series. Does it sound funny, hey? Lockdown series. It's Tracy here and such a pleasure to be talking to you. I wish you could talk back. I've had some really nice communication over the last week actually since we had the last video, and I had some good feedback about what some of you are wanting. So today our session is going to have a lot of stretch in it, so we're going to be putting a little bit more stretch in it, certainly still working on the core, starting to work through those feet, because there are some areas that when we're doing next to not a lot of anything that we would normally do, some parts of our body really do suffer. So we'll be working through the feet, be working a little bit with balance and with stretch today. For those of you that are getting this video via email, you'll have news of what's going to be happening next phase. So in a couple of weeks, when hopefully all goes well and we keep on doing what we should be doing and we end up at level 2, I will be introducing face-to-face classes. I'll be reducing the numbers in each session to 6. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of correspondence between you and me over the next couple of weeks. If you are new to Pilates but are really keen to start classes, please feel free to message me, email me, call me, and we can see what's available for you. So that's where we're going to be looking at this week, but let's have a look now at doing some nice groovy Pilates. Can you see my fringe? What I really recognised during this lockdown is there are several things that I'll never be good at. One, I'll never be a nail technician. They're a bit of a disaster. Second, being a hairdresser. And I couldn't even do my fringe. It's just looking crazy. But let's ignore that and let's come into your body, yourself, and this is your time. So welcome. So let's just be standing on your feet. Always remind yourself about your posture. Those feet being hip width apart. The ball of the big toe, the little toe and the heels. Really feel those feet on the floor. They're really grounded. Almost feel like they go through the floor, that you can really feel them. From the top of the knees, we pull up into that pelvis and then really drop those sit bones down. And we've been talking about that, making sure that you've got this gorgeous length through that lower spine and a neutral pelvis in the front. We pull from the back of the rib cage up. The front of the rib cage gently draws down, engaging that belly button and that pelvic floor, so this fabulous core area is under control. Open the collarbones wide, rotate the shoulder joints like the throttle on a motorbike, and then the bottom shoulder blade slides right down the spine. Then we lengthen those arms, feel the reach through the fingertips, nice and controlled. Then that soft spot right at the bottom of the skull, that's what we lift, so we get the length at the top of the spine. Soften the chin, nothing crazy happening here, nice and relaxed. And then shut your eyes and breathe into the belly. Remind yourself you can hold your belly if you wish with your hands to get the sense of, as you breathe in through the nose, filtering the air, let that belly fill. And as you exhale, lengthen through the back of the neck and drop that tailbone further down. And again, breathing in, let that belly fill. And as you exhale, long through the back of the neck, ease those shoulders further and drop the tailbone down. And again, let's breathe in, let's feel that belly fill. And as we exhale, long through the back of the neck, ease the shoulders into the front of the body, rib cage down, belly button and pelvic floor lifting. Good. As you hold that belly button and that pelvic floor firm, we open the rib cage. So that lateral expansion, open that rib cage, feel the side, feel the back of the lungs expand. And then exhale, rib cage gently down, belly button and pelvic floor lifting. And again, breathing in, open that bottom rib cage, feel the side, feel the back of the lungs expand. And as you exhale, rib cage down, belly button and pelvic floor lifting, nicely done. And one more, really open that bottom rib cage, feel that width. And exhale, rib cage down, belly button and pelvic floor lifting, nice. Now let's stretch the neck, breathing in. Exhale, press the chin across the right shoulder. Breathing in back to the centre. And exhale, press the chin across the left shoulder. Breathing in back to the centre. Exhale, press the chin across the right shoulder. And breathing in back to the centre. Exhale the chin across the left shoulder. Breathing in back to the centre. Now lifting that left ear, feel that extension through. Breathe in back to the centre. And exhale, lifting that right ear up. And breathe back to the centre. Exhale, lifting that left ear up, left shoulder firm. And back to the centre. And exhale, right ear lifts. And back to the centre. Nicely done. Now nod the head, lengthen through the back of the neck as you look down. And back to the centre. And lifting that chin, but keep that rib cage attached. And back to the centre. And long through the back of the neck. And to the centre. And lifting that chin. And back to the centre. Beautiful articulated circle. We look down. And we look to the front of the right, to the back. Float the chin and eye line to the ceiling. To the back of the left, to the front. The eye line is down. And we are in neutral. And again, long through the back of the neck. We're looking to the front of the left, to the back, floating to the ceiling, to the back of the right, the front of the right. That eye line's down. And to the centre. Perfect. Now thinking about those shoulder blades. From the bottom of the shoulder blades, breathing in, push up. And as you exhale, slide that shoulder blade down. Breathing in, press up. And breathing out, sliding down. Breathing in, pressing up. And breathing out, sliding down. One more. Breathing in, pressing up, and breathing out, sliding down. Perfect. Now we lift those arms breastbone height, palms face, set the shoulder blades down. Perfect. Now open the shoulder blades, ease forward. Keep soft across the collarbones though. And then exhale, pull underneath the armpits and slide down the centre of the back. Breathe in, open, reach. Breathe out, underneath and slide. Breathe in, open, reach. Breathe out, underneath and slide, breathe in, open, reach. Breathe out, underneath and slide. Now hold it here as you breathe in, and I want you to scissor. So we want to think length of arms, long through. Breathe in, breastbone height. And breathe out and scissor. Feel the length of the arms. Breathe in, centre. Breathe out as you reach this time, slide those shoulder blades down. Breathe in and centre. And exhale, scissor, slide the shoulder blades down. Breathe in, hold centre, collarbones are wide. And as you scissor, rib cage, belly button, pelvic floor. Breathe in, centre. Exhale, scissor, rib cage, belly button, pelvic floor. Now breathe in, centre, check that you're only breastbone height. And lengthen those arms long to the ceiling. Breathe in back to the centre and reach for the heels. Breathe in to the centre. This time slide those shoulder blades down. Breathe into the centre and reach for the heels. Breathe into the centre. This time send that rib cage to hips, belly button, pelvic floor. Breathe in, hold, palms face the floor, and we press down. Now I want you to breathe in, take the arm wide and up. Now we gently ease out through that rib cage and have a side bend. Now in the side bend, a couple of things happen. We want to stay even through the pelvis and we want to lift the breastbone up towards the ceiling. Feel the length through, suck the belly button in and keep the weight even through the feet. Breathe in back to the centre and down. Left side this time, breathe in, lift, set the shoulder, let that rib cage travel out a little bit and reaching across. So two things, even through the pelvis, lift that breastbone up as you reach. Both sides of the body lengthened, come back to the side and down. Breathe in, we lift. Set the shoulder, rib cage away and slide. Holding it here nice and strong. Breathe in back and one to go. Breathe in, lift. Rib cage out and slide. Holding everything tight. Breastbone to the ceiling. Breathe out and press down. We're going to take the legs wide. We're going to go wide into a plie. So what is the difference? When we go into a squat, feet are forward and parallel, and we sit the bottom back. In a plie, we turn the toes out comfortably, and we sit the tailbone straight down towards the floor. So we keep that lovely, strong back, tucked pelvis. So, then come into a squat. I want you to take those arms out to the side, long fingers. Slide the shoulder blades down, heavy in the squat. Now we're going to breathe in, lift the right heel, exhale, lower it down. Breathe in, lift the left heel and lower it down. Breathe in, right heel lifts and lower it down. And the left heel lifts and lowering it down. Breathe in, right heel lifts Exhale, lower it down. Stay deep in those legs. Left heel lifts and lower it down. Right heel lifts and lower it down. And left heel lifts and lower. Now staying down in the squat. Right heel lifts, left heel lifts. Right heel and left heel. Left heel, then right heel, then left heel and right. And again, we're right heel and left heel and right heel and left. Staying down. Left heel and right heel and left heel and down. Good. Both heels lift and lower. Both heels lift and lower. Remember, we balance from this midsection. So that's all about those obliques holding down to the hips. 4 to go. Breathe in, heels lift and lower. Breathe in, heels lift and lower. Breathe in, heels lift and 1 to go. Heels lift and lower and straighten up. Arms come down. Good. Now take those feet parallel, still in this wide position. So we're going to go into a deeper side bend now. So this right arm lifts up. Then we pull out from that underside and reach. Now in this position, really lift that breastbone up and actually take your gaze to the inside of this top arm. Drop that tailbone down, suck the bellies in, and we wide and down. Breathe in, left arm lifts. Come out from that underside and side bend. What do we got? Breastbone up. Eye lines looking into that arm. Easy breathing. We go wide and down. Good. We're going to take the legs wider this time. Bend them. So we're going to take our left foot to the side, left heel slightly away, whole body facing. So we're in a little lunge position here. I want you to take the arms up. Perfect. So I want you to breathe in, and as you breathe out, we reach out to the side and the elbow comes to the knee. The arm can come to the ceiling, nice and wide, or you can go a bit deeper and take that arm. What I want you to focus on here is pushing this pelvis down, sucking through, and again the eye line looks, breastbone to the ceiling. Find your breath, stay in your lunge as you reach, and straighten up. Turn toes, pelvis to the front, breathing in. Exhale, take a bend. Nice, reach long, and then come in, elbow. So remind yourself, you could either be arm to the ceiling, or to the ear, lifting that breastbone up, pushing that pelvis down, eye line to the arm. Easy breathing, finding these beautiful stretches. And then we come back to your lunge. Oh, got cramp. Whew. And press up. Good. So, take those feet, again, hip width apart. So, we're going to do some stretches into the back of the legs now. Some of you will be familiar with them. For some of you it might be new. So I'm going to turn on the side. So I want you to breathe in, reach those arms up. Now as you breathe out, take a seat, long through the body, suck those bellies in. Then we're going to roll over the body and then straighten those legs. Make sure here you're relaxed through the shoulders. Good. Now take a seat, take those arms up, and I want you to form an arrow. It's called the intense pose. Sitting deep, then press up, arms wide and down. Breathe in, arms lift. Exhale, halfway down, and then fold all the way down. Sit bones up, and sit bones down. Reach to the intense pose, long, pressing up, and open and down. Good. Now breathing up, and halfway down, breastbone forward, flat back, and rolling down, and sit bones up. So in this position, upper body should feel like it's pushing to the floor. Bottoms, or the bottom of the bottom, your sit bones pressing up to the ceiling. Now hands to the floor, I want you to go heel toe out into a comfortable knee. Now I want you to make sure your bottom's not pushing out behind you, that it's sitting up to the ceiling and this upper body is relaxed down. Now in this position, and bend the knees if you need to, do, but keep those sit bones up, hands between the feet, upper body relaxed, and push those sit bones up. Good. Now I want you to walk your hands across to that right foot. The left hand wraps around the ankle, and the right arm wraps around the side, around the back, the spine. Then we want to lift the breastbone up and twist. So in this twist position, make sure that bottom's still lifting to the ceiling, chest really, really twisting, even through the feet. And then unfold, hands to the centre, and we stretch. Walk those hands across to the left foot, hand around the left ankle, arm behind the spine, and we twist. Making sure the bottom's pulling up towards the ceiling, breastbone to the floor, left shoulder to the ceiling. Good. And then we uncurl, come back to the centre, and we fold. Good. Now I want you to take a seat, push that bottom behind you. Then we're going to take the hands up onto the knees. And we lift the knees a little bit, but we don't curl the back or straighten the knees. Bottom's pushing out behind you. Lovely flat back tabletop. Ease those shoulders. So in this position, I want you to breathe in, and as you exhale, I want you to curl the tailbone down to the floor, suck your belly buttons in, and then push it out the other way, coming back to that flat back line. Suck that belly button in, drop the tailbone down, feel the draw, and then ease it out, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And again, suck that belly button in, feel the curl, really draw that pelvis, tap that put that pelvic floor up, and carefully release, lengthen through the spine, don't forget long through the back of the neck, and one more. Suck that belly button in, draw, and carefully ease it away. Yeah, nice. Good. Hands to the floor, relax the head and shoulders, and then push those sit bones back up to the ceiling. See if you've got a greater fold here. Hands come a little bit forward, and we come back heel toe back to hip width apart. Now I want you to sit your bottoms down and relax your tummies to your thighs. We're going to take the hands to the back of the ankles, holding here, relax the shoulders and the head, breathing in. And as you breathe out, push your sit bones up to the ceiling, let that upper body relax. Now we want the tummy pulling to the thighs, we want the bottoms to the ceiling, head's nice and relaxed. Breathe in, take a sit, back in a chair. And breathe out, push those sit bones up, lift that upper body, let that upper body relax, tummies to thighs, sit bones to ceiling. Breathing in, take a seat. And breathe out, push those sit bones up, relax that upper body, feel the length. And one more. Breathing in. And exhale. Sit bones up, upper body down, feel the relax. Hands to the floor, breathing in, take a seat, take those arms up into that intense pose, then push through those legs, open those arms, and arms come down. Good. So I want you to work from the front of your mat now. So we're going to do a little bit of lunging. So again, let's just remember, you don't have to go straight into the position. You can ease yourself. So we go breathe and lift up. Breathe out, breastbone forward, legs straight if you can this time, and come down. Hands to the shins as you push your breastbone forward, come up to that flat back, and breathe out, come down. Now your back foot is going to reach to the lunge. Now you might take a couple of times to get there, but we want that knee in front of the hip, back hip down. Sorry, knee in line with the ankle, back hip pressing down. Good. And we want to bring that left foot or that front foot back into that downward facing dog. Some of you love this, some of you hate this position, but let's make it work for us, love it or hate it. Hands shoulder width apart, shoulders into the centre of the back, rib cage to hips, bellies in, sit bones to the ceiling, and heels pressing to the floor. I want you to breathe in, lift those heels up. come shoulders over hips, ease the knees down, hover off the floor, drop them, and place them flat in those feet. And we're going to bring our breastbone slightly forward of the hands, hovering off the floor, then push the hips down and lift those up, the upper body up. So in this position, we're familiar with this with Pilates, hey? Elbows slide long through the back of the neck. And we're going to bring the hips up and push back. Don't change the knee line, but stretch into your child's pose. Breathe in, come back, shoulders over wrists. Curl those toes under. Lift the sit bones up. Come back into that downward facing dog. Stretching through here. Bend the knees. The back foot's going to come forward. Now, some of you might be able to get it straight there, but others of you might need to help it. So we still want knee over ankle, front hip pressing down. Good. And I'm going to push off the back foot again. You might take a couple of steps. Forward fold. Breastbone forward, shoulder blades back, breathing in, flat back, and breathing out. We ease down. Now the front foot, so we're going to bend the knees, front foot, going to come back to a lunge. Again, you might need to take a couple of moments to do it, but we want the knee over the ankle, that back hip easing down. So find that lovely stretch, then your back foot is going to come back into that downward facing dog. What are you remembering? Long arms, shoulders, rib cage down, belly button in, sit bones high, pressing through those heels. We're going to now breathe in, come to the balls of the feet, shoulders over wrists. Hover the knees just off the floor, drop the knees down, flatten the toes. Baby cobra, so we come halfway down, rib cage, hips, and then float this upper body up. Slide those shoulder blades down the spine, long through the back of the neck. Everything stretches in these positions. And we lift through the hips and push back into child's pose. Reaching long. Breathe in, coming back to horse. Toes are under. Lift those knees, lift the sit bones, then press back into downward facing dog. So in this position, really get those shoulders pressing. Now I want you to lift right up onto the balls of the feet. And as you breathe out, the right heel goes to the floor, the left knee bends. Breathe in, balls of both feet. Breathe out, left heel down, right knee bends, push, push, push. Breathe in, balls of the feet. Breathe out and press that right heel down. Breathe in and lift. And breathe out, press that left heel down. Breathe in and lift. Press both heels down, should be slightly better. If you look at your feet, make sure that they're parallel. Make sure that the heels are working right behind those toes. Now I want you to carefully walk your hands into your feet. Just notice that lovely forward fold. Then hands to shins, push the breastbone forward to flat back. Take those arms long, pushing into those feet, lifting up, and we go wide, and those arms come down. So isn't that a lovely stretching sequence? We'll do a little bit more stretching shortly, but let's just come down onto the floor. Lying on your backs and just work basically into the body. We're going to do a little bit more work through the feet and working into this midsection. So as you come down in this position, don't ever forget your posture, the length through the back of the neck, the ease of the shoulders into the centre of the back, the reach of the arms. Make sure you've got your neutral spine. What is neutral? Front of the pelvis and the pubic bone in a flat triangle. So there's that natural curve of your spine. And we can work the front of the body, rib cage down, belly button in, pelvic floor lift in. Make sure those knees are holding hip width apart. Should be able to feel your feet really well today because we've already done some good work. Ball of the big toe, the little toe, the heels, and then relax those toes. Let's just come into that active breathing. So we breathe in, open that rib cage. And as you exhale, rib cage down, belly button in, pelvic floor lift in. And again, breathing in, open that rib cage, feel the side, feel the back of the lungs. And exhale, rib cage down, belly button in, pelvic floor lifting. And one more, activate that breath, breathe in, feel the side, feel the back of the lungs. And exhale, rib cage down, belly button in, pelvic floor lifting. Good. So holding it here, we just want to activate that pelvic floor. Remember, every session we want to connect with that pelvic floor. So, always reminding yourself about the directions, and it's totally internal. You should feel no movement through this pelvis at all. So I want you to breathe in. As you breathe out, pull front to back, back to front, right to centre, left to centre, lift to 60%. 60% postural hold. So what we should feel is, any time we think about our body, we should be able to click into postural hold. Feels like the bottom of the pelvis is coated in the pelvic floor. And we know that the bottom of the pelvis actually is the pelvic floor. Note to the uninitiated. And release it off. So I want you to breathe in. Let's do it again. Pull front to back, back to front, right to centre, left to centre, find 60. And then draw it up that little bit more. Remember, we have nothing external. It is all internal. Half or 2/3 of that pelvis is now coated in that pelvic floor. That should be the feeling. And we should think about those 4 directions. Front, back, right, left, holding front, back, right, left, holding front, back, right, left, front, back, right, left, and release it off. I find that so interesting because I'm not doing this as much because there are no classes, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. I'm really having to work to keep it even. So let's think about 100% now, so breathe in. And as you exhale, pulling front to back, back to front, right to centre, left to centre, find 60. Find 80, draw it up. Now 100% really work that muscle. So we don't stop at the lift, we keep on lifting. We say lift, 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 thinking front, back, right, left, lift, 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 front, right, left, lift, 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 front, back, right, left, lift, 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 getting harder, front, back, right, left, and release it down. Good work, nicely done. So holding this position here, we're going to do through the feet. So I want you to breathe in, lift the right heel, exhale, lower it down. Breathe in, left heel, exhale, lower down. Breathe in, right heel, exhale, lower it down. Breathe in, left heel, and lower it down. So we go ball of the foot and toenail, ball of the foot, heel down, and ball of the foot and toenail, and ball of the foot, heel down, and ball of the foot and toenail, ball of the foot, heel down, and ball of the foot and toenail, ball and heel comes down. Now right side ball, toenail, float tabletop, toenail, ball of the foot, heel down, left foot, toenail, tabletop, toenail, ball of the foot and down, right, ball of the foot, toenail and tabletop, toenail, ball of the foot and down, and ball of the foot, toenail and tabletop, toenail, ball of the foot, heel down, both feet, balls of the feet, heels down, breathe in, balls of the feet, and heels come down, lift to the balls of the feet, and heels come down, really work midsection, balls of the feet, and heels come down. Now balls of the feet, toenails, balls of the feet, heels down, and balls of the feet and toenails, balls of the feet, heels down, and balls of the feet. Feel this midsection really having to adjust to the change in the movement, working ankles, working right through the feet. Now, balls of the feet, toenails float to tabletop, toenails, balls of the feet. So this is the movement, balls of the feet, that any time you lift a foot up, a leg up, balls of the feet and down. You should go right through. Balls of the feet, toenails, tabletop, toenails, balls of the feet, heels down, and balls of the feet, toenails, and tabletop, toenails, balls of the feet, heels down. Good. Now let's just add prep in. So we're going to breathe in, lengthen through the back of the neck. Head lifts up and we slide. Rib cage, belly button, pelvic floor. Now we know this. This is bread and butter Pilates. But make sure you're neutral. Make sure the knees are hip width apart. Make sure the shoulders are relaxed. Long through the back of the neck. And we come down. Breathe in, lengthen through the back of the neck. Head lifts, we slide. Breathe in, we hold. Breathe out, we lower. Breathe in, lengthen back of the neck. Head lifts, we slide. Breathe in, we hold. Breathe out, we lower. One more this speed, we lengthen. Head lifts, we slide. Breathe in, we hold. Breathe out, we lower. I want you to bring the hands to the back of the head. We're going to come to the tips of the toes, okay? So we're going to breathe in, lengthen through the back of the neck. Head lifts up, we slide. So notice, we're on the balls of the feet. I'm getting cramp everywhere. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out and lower. Breathe in, lengthen. Head lift. So we've got to work this midsection harder because we're holding the weight of the legs and lowering down. Breathe in, lengthen back of the neck. Head lifts, we slide. Breathe in, we hold. Breathe out, we lower. And breathe in, we lengthen. Head lifts, we slide. Breathe in, we hold, tips of the toes, and we lower. Now breathe in, lengthen back of the neck. Head lifts, we slide and hold. Now, from the tip of the toe, right knee up. Exhale and tip the toe down. Breathe in, left knee up, tabletop, and lower the tip of the toe down. Breathe in, right leg up. Breathe out, we lower it down. Breathe in, left leg up. Breathe out, we lower it down. Now breathe in, right leg lift. Breathe out, left leg lift. Breathe in, tip of the toe, and left toe down. Good. Breathe in, left leg lifts. Breathe out, right knee joins. Tip of the toe, and right toe down. Breathe in, lift the toe knee. Exhale, left knee lifts. Breathe in, tip of the toe, keep the standing leg firm and down. And breathe in, left leg. Breathe out, right leg. Breathe in, left leg. And lowering it down, feeling it here now. Now breathe in, right leg lift, long low hover, reach it away. Breathe in, float it back. Breathe out, lower down, keep supporting that head. Breathe in, left knee, tabletop. Breathe out, long and low, feel the hold. Float the knee back and lowering it down. Breathe in, right leg. Breathe out, reach it away. Breathe in, draw it back. Breathe out, lower down. And breathe in, left leg lifts. Breathe out, reaching long. Breathe in, float it back. And lowering it down. Keep that upper body up. Breathe in, right leg lift. And left leg lift. Now right leg long, low, reach it away. And reach, scissor it away. And we're 3. And 4. Keep holding midsection. We're 5. Tabletop. And we're 6. And we're 7. And we're 8. Good. Draw it back. Relax that upper body down. Arms down. One leg to the floor and then the other. Whew, just give it a little bit of a breath. Ease it off. Now, we're aiming to be feeling this right across. So these are those transversus abdominis muscles, pulling that belly button gently to the spine. We should feel the quickening at 80% across the front of the pelvis. Good. So, hands to the back of the head again. Breathe in, lift that right leg to tabletop, and that left leg to tabletop. Breathe in, lengthen through the back of the neck, lift that upper body up. Now, scissor again, so right leg long, low. 1, 2, exchange. 3, 4, exchange. 5, 6, exchange. 7, 4 to go, long. 3 and 2, 2 and 3. Keep this upper body up, and 4. Now if you want to make it harder, we lengthen the top leg, and 2, 2 and 3, 2 and 4, 4 to go. We're 5, 2 and we're 6, 2 and we're 7, 2 and we're 8, 2. Lifting it up. Good. Bend to tabletop. Relax that upper body down. And roll one leg to the floor. And then the other. Good. So you should be feeling nice and warm through this midsection now. Really good through those feet and those ankles where you've worked. So I want you to take your arms wide now. So not higher than the shoulders, but wide. Back of the hands on the floor. So we're going to lift the right leg to tabletop and the left leg. Now, you can either work hip width apart here, or for some of you it'll be easy to hold the feet and knees together. But what we want to make sure of is that we keep the load. So knee on knee, ankle on ankle, hip on hip. So working this midsection, we breathe in, and as we exhale, we just ease the knees across to the right. Now as you do so, notice that back hip lifts up because the whole pelvis comes across. But what about this upper body? It's totally relaxed to the floor. Lifting those hips and come back to the centre. Breathing in, exhale, easing those knees. So notice, knees stacked, feet stacked, back hip up, upper body relaxed, and come back to the centre. Breathing in, exhale, ease it across. You might be able to go further this time. Exhale, and breathe in back to the centre. And exhale, loading. If you've got your knees, feet and knees together, don't let them travel here or here. They're nice and together, or holding hip width apart. And draw back. Good. Now taking those legs long, we breathe in. Exhale, ease across. Now lift that pelvis off. Top hip, reach, and back to the centre. And you notice a difference in the weight. Because we've extended these levers, extended these legs, there's more weight needing to be held through that midsection. And back to the centre. Breathing in, exhale, over. Now from this position, see if you can pull those feet back towards the wall behind you, and then ease back to the centre. Breathing in, exhale, come on the diagonal, and then see if you can pull those feet back. Jeepers, that's hard. And back to the centre, bend, one knee to the floor, and then the other. Good. So we should be feeling very, very firm through this midsection. So arms back to the normal position, feet and knees together. So I want you to breathe in, open that right knee. So as you do that, we want a really firm pelvis. So you can actually take your fingertips to the front of the pelvis, make sure nothing's moved. That standing knee is still in line, and then draw knee on knee. Breathe in, open that left knee. Feel the extension, and draw back. Breathe in, open that right knee, make sure there's no movement through the pelvis, and use that inner thigh to draw in. And that left knee, open it away. Make sure the bottom's soft here, really feel the stretch in that inside. And draw back, good. Now both knees, open them. Now make sure your back doesn't do any kind of archy thing. Open the knees. And I always come to my toes actually, to draw the knees back. Breathe in, open, soles of the feet together, relax the bottom, open. And then squeeze the knees, inner thigh works, draw back, heels down. Breathe in, open the knees. Make sure your bottom's relaxed so you really get that stretch. And squeeze the bottom, use the inner thigh, draw back, heels down, one more, open those knees. Remember, we want this pelvis to stay neutral, spine to stay neutral. And then squeeze and draw back, heels come down. Fabulous. Good. So, it feels like a nice class. I'm kind of enjoying this. Apart from the fact that I'm alone. What I am pleased with though is that the studio's been redone. Peter's got everything back up, so it's feeling a little bit more like home. So what we want to have here is we want to be sitting on those sit bones, comfortably wide with those feet, rolling that inner thigh back, finding your spine. So we can lengthen, just rocking on that pelvis, we can find the length through. But what I want you to do is bend those knees, find those sit bones, find your height, and I want you to take your hands behind you and lift that breastbone up. Now as you do that, draw the shoulder blades towards each other and sit on those sit bones, nice stretch into that pelvis. Good. Perfect, and release it off. So, holding here, we're going to take this right leg, we're going to slide the right hand down to that ankle. And we're going to take that left arm and we're going to open not only across the chest, but we're going to try and bring that arm back behind us. So we breathe in, and as we breathe out, you can lengthen those legs and bring yourself over. Take that arm a little bit behind you, sliding down. I want you to feel both sides. So the underside of the spine, the top of the spine reaching as well. Good. Now we're going to take the body, we're going to turn it towards this right leg, and then just feel that breastbone pulling towards the feet, and easing that upper body down. Now, the most important thing is getting the best stretch you can. So I want you to make sure you can feel it. We should be feeling it from the groin behind the knee. And we want the body long along. We don't want it kind of curled up. We want it long along. Now, holding stretches like this is really, really important. And as you know, the exhale is when we just allow that body to go a little bit deeper. Some people tell you even actually on your inhale you lift up, and on your exhale you come down. I just kind of figure hold on the inhale works better for me. Good. And then we're going to lift that breastbone up, elbow to the inside again, lift that top arm, and open that breastbone to the ceiling, looking up, feeling that real reach. And then ease up, and bend those legs in for the other side. So bend, feel the stretch, hands behind, feel the lift of the chest, eye line to the ceiling, sit bones to the floor, pull those shoulder blades together. So with this beautiful reach through the body, easing your breath, make sure you keep on breathing because it's kind of important, else you die, we can't have that, we want you all to live. Good, and easing it off. So with these knees bent, we take this right left hand now, slide it down, open the breastbone, lift the arm, take that eye line up, and you can even stay here. If this is enough stretch for you, awesome. But if you want to take those legs long and see how much more of a stretch you can get in, remind yourself, both sides of the body, underside and upper side, opening across the chest. Good. So from this position, we're going to ease around. We're going to take our bodies over, pull that breastbone over this left leg. So you can have the leg a little bit bent if you need to, but really if you want that best stretch, you want to have a lovely long leg, making sure this inner thigh's pulling out. Again, remind yourself, not a curled back, it's that breastbone forward and as relaxed as you can. Just thinking about every time we stretch, it's important. I hope, those of you that requested stretch, I hope this is fitting the bill for you. And then we're going to come back over, elbow in, lift that breastbone, feel that stretch away. They're kind of, I really like these stretches, they're kind of cool. Hope you like them. And then we come up. Bend those legs, bring them in. Good. I want you to bend your legs again. Find those sit bones. Open the knees, soles of the feet together. So find those sit bones again, and then find your height, and then take those hands behind you again. Draw the shoulder blades in, lift that breastbone up. Feel the opening of the knees as much as you can. Find the breath. So I want you to feel breastbone to ceiling, really zip up through that midsection. Shoulder blades drawing together and draw back. Good. I want you to pull your knees together, flex those feet. Now you can, I think we did this last time, didn't we? Either hold onto your shins or hold onto your toes. And I want you to breathe in, lifting the breastbone up, pull the shoulder blades back. And as you breathe out, press those heels long. So really feel the length in the back of those legs. Now remind yourself, we don't want to be back on the soft part of the bottom. We don't want to be on the sit bones even. In this position, we want to be slightly forward. You should feel the corrugations of those hamstrings. So it feels a little bit like cardboard. So it's in front of those sit bones. You can hold on to your shins if that's where you can go, no problem at all. So I want you to lengthen, lift that breastbone up. And then as you exhale, just see if you You see if an ouch cramp in the hip, breastbone forward, and relaxing that body down. Good. So feel the length through the back of the legs. Remind yourself, we're after length of spine, not the curl. Length of spine. And then carefully ease yourself up. Good. Finding your height, taking that right leg in. I want you to wrap that left arm around it. Lift the breastbone and let's twist. Let's stretch into that spine. Feeling that length. Take your eye line behind you. Pull with that left hand. Pull that right knee in. Beautiful twist. And we come back to the centre. Lengthen that leg. Bending that left leg in. Wrapping with that breastbone up. And we twist. And with that twist, remind yourself you're not leaning back. It's finding height. Pulling that left knee in towards you. Really open that left shoulder. Breathing. And coming back to the centre. And lengthen it off. Very nice. So, your relaxation time now. So lie yourselves down onto the mat. Take those legs long. Just feel really comfortable in that position. Find that nice easy breath, because the breathing is right into that belly. So as you're lying there, just think about letting go. We've done lots of stretching today. We've done lots of work into this midsection. So just make sure you can feel that breath. And just let go, or let you let go. And as you do that, just feeling those bones and letting them be heavy to the floor. And with those bones heavy and those muscles light, let them roll away from the bones. Let them roll away and just ease to the floor. And as you ease those bones to the floor, let those muscles roll away. Just start to do a scan of your body. And as you do a scan of your body, just let go a little bit more and a little bit more. Check that you're even, right and left. And make sure that if you're holding any tension, that you're really allowing the brain to send that well oxygenated blood. So you let go a little bit more with each breath. And as you keep on breathing, just notice it's your own rhythm, but we want it to be very slow. As you breathe in through the nose, that filters the air for you. And then a slower exhale, a little bit longer as you let go. And then take your attention down to your feet. Your feet have done a heap of work today, more than they normally would, both in standing up and lying on the floor. So just really let them go. Let those toes just be soft and float underneath the balls of the foot, really soft, holding no tension. That instep, now those of you that get cramp, today might have been a crampy day for you, so just allow that instep to let go, hold no tension. And then notice where your heels attach to the floor and let them sink. And as they sink, notice that lovely relax in that ankle joint. There's no tension, it's just soft and easy and letting go. And then draw your attention now onto your shins. Let those muscles melt away from the bone. And then let that shin bone sink. And as it sinks, notice it's caught and cushioned by the muscles behind. And those muscles have softened. And they take the weight of the bone and they let it sink deeper and deeper, heavier and heavier to the floor, holding no tension. And then as you think about the knees, let that kneecap float on a soft knee joint. That knee joint has relaxed, but You also let go the tendons, the attachments behind that knee. And with each exhale, just let that knee sink deeper and deeper, heavier and heavier to the floor, holding no tension. And then as you think about those generous muscles at the top of the knees, just let them ease. No tension where they attach to the pelvis or to the hip. Let the ball and the socket relax. And as those muscles melt away from the bones, let that thigh bone sink deeper and deeper, heavier and heavier to the floor. There is no tension. You have let go, and the bone is caught and cushioned by the soft muscles behind, allowing the bones to go deeper and deeper, heavier and heavier to the floor, holding no tension. And your pelvis is now soft. So you've relaxed the pelvic floor, you've relaxed across the front of the pelvis. So with your next inhale, you'll notice the breath come into the belly. Just notice the natural rise of the belly. And then as you exhale, let that pelvis sink. Let it sink deeper and deeper, heavier and heavier to the floor. Notice it's cushioned by the soft muscles behind. There's no tension in your bottom. We just let that pelvis sink. Release, release, let go. And then with your next inhale, just notice that gentle, natural opening of the ribcage. As you do that, really think about letting those intercostal muscles that go through the ribcage, let them go. And then as you exhale, let that ribcage be heavy. And as it sinks to the floor, really think about those muscles in that mid-back. Let them be soft and let that ribcage sink deeper and deeper, heavier and heavier to the floor, holding no tension. And then with your next breath, open those collarbones, really feel them reach. And then as you exhale, let those shoulders ease to the floor. Slide the shoulder blades down the spine, and then lengthen those arms, those long elbows and wrists, fingers reaching those arms as long as you can. Feel the tension. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Hold it for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and then absolutely let go. Feel the change in the blood flow. And with the change, you'll notice that your fingers have floated, the hands have softened, the wrist is heavy and relaxed. The muscles have eased away from the forearm, and the elbow is just easing to the floor. My favourite bit, every time I say it, it's that beautiful, let gravity take the whole shoulder platform and let it be easy to the floor. Let it sink. And as it sinks, there is no tension in your shoulder line. And notice the bones in the arms are heavy to the floor, but they're caught and cushioned by the soft muscles behind. There is absolutely no tension in your body. You are letting go. As you breathe in this time, lengthen through the back of the neck, and then gently draw that chin a little bit closer to your chest than normal. Feel that draw. And then release it a little back to neutral, where you'll find there's a softness in your neck. And to relax the throat, let your tongue float to the roof of the mouth. And so with the tongue on the roof of the mouth, your jaw has relaxed. There's no tension around your mouth or your nose, and those cheeks have eased away to the floor. And they're carried towards the floor by your ears. Let those ears sink so the whole bottom of your face is relaxed and released to the floor. Let the eyeballs sink into the socket, and as they sink, notice there's no tension around your eyes. Those eyebrows have relaxed, there's no furrow in your brow, and gravity has ironed out any lines in your forehead as your face melts away, falls away to the floor. There's no tension, and your brain has softened because it's focused on your breath. Breathing in and breathing out, and with each exhale you fall deeper and deeper to the floor. As those bones sink deeper and deeper, they're beautifully cushioned by those soft muscles behind. But with this next breath, breathe in. As you exhale, those bones not only sink to the floor, they go through the floor until your whole body feels as if it is floating. There is no tension, there is just your breath. No pain, everything is easy, there's no tension. You have relaxed, you are released. You have let go, and with each breath you sink deeper and deeper into that state of relaxation. And we soften the brain with the single focus of breath. Inhale, exhale, breathe in, breathe out. No tension, let it go. So draw your attention back into your breath again. Really feel this inhale coming right deep into your belly. Feel that belly expand. And then as you exhale, come back into your bodies. Relax those fingers and those toes just a little. Good. And then with that next breath, let it come into your belly and gently draw one leg into neutral and then the other, feet and knees hip width apart. Feel those feet on the ground. And with your next breath, come right back into your posture, right back into the body. Breathe out, feel the width of the rib cage. And then as you exhale, rib cage down, belly button in, pelvic floor lifting. And one more breath is going to bring you right back into your body, conscious of the active breath. Breathe in, feel the side, feel the back of the lungs. And as you exhale, you'll long through the back of the neck, ease the shoulders, come into the front of the body, rib cage, belly button, pelvic floor. Feel the neutral spine, the hold of the knees, the hold of the feet. And Celeste, all is right with the world. Everything's feeling good. Another class done. You've done so well. So thank you for joining me in our beautiful studio, and I can't wait to hear from you. Those of you that are interested when we get to level 2 of coming back, those of you that might be interested in joining us, if you haven't before, you are more than welcome. So take care, looking forward to hearing from you.